All right, we're back here at Miami Heat training camp at FAU with Orlando Robinson, who was kind enough to join us on Five on the Floor earlier during the offseason. But now that you're here and you're sort of seeing what your offseason work is paying off for, where do you think you need to make the biggest impression during this camp and going forward in the preseason to be able to get consistent playing time?
Defense and rebounding. I play pretty well with everybody, setting good screens and making the right plays and stuff. Probably not going to be looked at as a scorer on this team, but just offensive rebounding, finishing possessions, defending. It's just going out there and defending, taking care of the ball, and getting people open on the offensive side.
When you talked to us before, you talked about sort of understanding where you would have to fit with particular players, with particular groups. You mentioned not being a scorer in this group, but you did a lot of that in summer league. What's sort of the one thing offensively that you were able to do in summer league that you think you'll have the ability to do with, regardless of who you're playing with on this?
Probably just like the pick and rolls. That's a broad thing. Like if I set a screen for Tyler and I'm in the pocket, that little touch shot, that doesn't change. But I would say that because I did that in summer league. I mean, the game I had 36, I had like 7 of those. So I mean, in the pick and roll, just being effective in there, catching lobs, finishing in the pocket, making the right read, and I feel like that would translate all over from the G. Or I'm not going back to G.
We don't think so.
I'm just saying. But it translates in both areas.
All right, so before I let Brady get a question in, what is the one thing you're going to miss the most about Sioux Falls? There's got to be something. I was told there's an Applebee's. Is that right? There is one?
There's like a Blue Mountain. We went there after every win, after every game.
So I'm not familiar with it.
Across the street from the arena.
So what is that? Is that like a chain restaurant?
Basically like an Applebee's, but it's like a bar,
So if you had to rate Applebee's versus Blue Mountain, what?
Blue Mountain.
You would. Mm-hmm. I mean, you realize that Sioux Falls legend Mike Miller was with the Miami Heat for a long time. They don't have a statue to Mike in Sioux Falls.
We should have one in Blue Mountain. I was there because we were in there constantly, chopping it up, watching the fights, watching the games, eating burgers, fries.
Sioux Falls is exactly like Miami.
I wanted to ask you about your shooting. You were talking about the offense, and I guess in summer league, like a lot of people saw just how smooth your jumper was and the lift you get off and all that stuff. I guess just when did that take the next step? And was that a focus for you specifically?
Yeah, definitely in the summer I focused on doing that. I mean, I was always able to shoot, but just it was the efficiency of my shooting. So I just tried to hone in on that, shoot the ball consistently, same way every time, and just try to be as efficient as possible. And it showed in summer league, and now I'll try to show it in training camp.
And you were talking about your defense before, and I guess just being in this system that plays a lot of zone and all that stuff. Is your comfort grown in that area in terms of like press, zone, and all the different structures that they throw out?
For sure. I mean, now that I've been here a year, I've played in the league. It's slowing down for me. It's not completely slow, but I'm not running around with my head cut off or anything like that. So I got a better feel for the game and a better understanding of how to impact the defensive side.
Have you paid? I mean, I know it's hard to pay attention to all the media stuff, but I think there were a couple of places that had you as kind of a breakout player for this team. Do you notice that stuff? Do you?
No, but I understand the situation. I mean, nobody's heard of me, and I'm doing all these big things, so I guess I'm kind of a breakout person. But it's good just to understand the present and just try to perform constantly every day, and that's what I try to focus on doing.
Is a lot of the obviously Thomas Bryant's here now too, and are you guys battling a lot against each other in camp? How is that sort of matchup work?
Yeah, but I'm battling with Bam too. I'm battling with everybody. It's just competition. I mean, in this game, everybody competes to get what they want, and that's what I'm going to have to do, regardless of who's out there.
I want to ask you one thing specifically about Bam, because obviously we've seen improvement in him every single year. As you're going against him now, is there something that he's added to his game that maybe we wouldn't see with the naked eye, but you working against him on a regular basis, you've been able to observe?
I mean, Bam is very talented offensively, and defensively, both sides of the court. So me just being able to go out there and defend him and try to score on him is just like, I've seen it all summer, but just watching him just do what he do out there, and I'm just taking bits and pieces of everything. Obviously I'm not going to go out and do the things Bam's doing right now, but eventually I feel like once I get to that point, I'll be able to do everything that he does.
So Orlando, K-Love came in last year and kind of served as a format, I guess, for the other bigs on the team. Like, do you think the opportunity. I know we talked about this with you on the podcast a little bit, but now after a couple of days of training camp, do you think the pick and pop is going to be kind of a bigger formula in the offense this year, the way we saw with K-Love, maybe with you, maybe with the Thomas Bryant? Just it seems like you guys have a lot of bigs who can shoot now. Do you see that being a bigger part of the offense, and just do you see, yourself doing it as well?
Yeah, I see myself doing it. I know I'm capable, and it's just a matter if my coach believes it. So if he believes it, then I will show him that I can do it. But if not, then I'll do what I need to do.
All right, Orlando Robinson, thanks for joining us again on 5 on the Floor.